Since 1947, when the Coal Board took over Britain's mines, 13 entirely new ones have been sunk. One of these is Kellingley in Yorkshire, and beneath this land lie more than 200 million tons of coal, over 800 yards down. 6 years ago, Kellingley's first winding tower was being built over the spot chosen for one of the two shafts. For the first 200 yards down, the ground had to be frozen into a wall of ice to seal off running water while the shafts were lined. 5 months later, the first tower was finished and the second on the way. A shaft is a chimney sunk into the ground, through which are wound men and materials, and eventually coal. One year later, both shafts were well down below the frozen area and sinking deeper every day. This drilling hoppet, a travelling toolkit, was one of the many innovations which streamlined the work and helped the shaft sinkers to achieve record speeds. For each inch they went down, shot holes had to be drilled into the hard rock strata, charged with explosives, and fired. Down and down they went, lowering shuttering into place, and behind it, lining the shaft with concrete. Using methods like these, a record of 330 feet in 1 month was set up by the shaft sinkers. Early in 1965, 6 years after the starting date, the permanent winding cages have been installed in the shafts, and the underground roadways have been driven out into the coal seams. A trickle of coal at first, development coal. But soon, in full production, the coal from Kellingley will flow like a black river for the rest of this century and beyond. A mine is born. In a slim little building between the rail tracks at Yorkshire's Askern Colliery works Britain's reigning bicycle road racing champion. This is an amateur title which 19-year-old Peter Hill has held for the past 2 years, the youngest man ever to hold it. Peter is a way clerk. His job is to watch the coal trains go by, but not before he has recorded the weight of coal in each wagon. After work, Peter carries the racing bike he paid £80 for across the rail tracks, and before he's had time to get up speed, he's home. Sister Eileen, 4½, has recently graduated from a tricycle to a two-wheeler. Peter's mother is in charge of racing kit. The British Road Racing Championship is determined by the best season's performance over time and distance in a 12-hour race, a 100-mile race, and a 50-mile race. Peter's championship speed, an average of 24.6 miles an hour. Try it sometime. Road racing is not only hard on the feet, it's hard on the wheel rims too. Most of Peter's training is done with his friend Alan Robson, who works underground at Bullcroft Colliery. A solid 50-mile ride for a couple of hours each and every evening. His collection of trophies is on the piano. Peter is lean and tall, streamlined for heading into the wind. The family's life turns around cycling, except for Father Hill, who prefers to drive to his work at Askern Colliery. This year, Peter is getting leave to go to France, where the pro champions flourish. He hopes to gain professional sponsorship and, with his feet firmly on the pedals, ride his way into the big time.
faces of men at the end of their pit shift, the faces of men after a hard day's work. A miner's face is a map of his world, the world of darkness and the world of daylight, the world of work and the world he makes for himself. No matter what kind of day it is, it's a good day when you come out of the pit. Ab Melling speaks for miners everywhere when he says he likes light. The dust streams away. No one minds the jostling. From the pit baths onwards, the world opens up. Hand and eye capturing the countryside. Trees, buildings, water, or the pit where he works. Light and the gulls stream behind the plough. The length of the furrow is 300 yards, the very length of his working world down below, the coal face. From the daylight world to the world of darkness, a world where faces are in shadow, a world where hands speak better than words. Hands hard at it, shoveling, filling a crack where the coal came out, keeping a roof over his head. In the age-old history of mining, it was always the hands that had it, that took the beating. In the odd moments of waiting, pitmen let their arms and hands hang slack to ease off the tiredness. Until one day a man asked himself how to put power in the hands of the miner. This is the answer. Power to cut and load, and power to hold up the roof. Power at the fingertips. This way, the hands of the miner win, hands down.